Okay, first day, shoulder pads. We call shells. You're still not in full pads, but you're in shoulder pads, so you can bang around a little bit. I thought our guys did a better job today of the intensity level and attention to detail. So thought we got better today. Again, I got to watch the film, but pretty spirited, pretty good. And obviously, you get so much more work done when shoulder pads than you can in shorts or just without the pads on.
So obviously you said you want to watch tape before you get a full analysis, but what do you see when you go in shells that you didn't see when it was just shorts and t-shirts?
Well, the physicality part of it too is obviously part of it. And you got to learn, some of our guys, and part of moments today when I had to get on them a little bit was like they got to learn how to practice where you can be physical and smart at the same time. You don't have to tackle a guy. You can learn how to do what everybody calls thud. You can learn to thud. And some guys were confused early in practice, and so they would tag when they were supposed to thud and all that. So we had to teach that part. And then we had a couple guys like full on just tackled somebody, and we just got to teach them how to do that and be smarter. Most of our practices in August will be thud. So, and Coach Alley has a teaching tape, and he'll review it with the guys on defense. But offense too, I think, we do a lot of perimeter stuff, and we got to be good perimeter blockers. Our wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, all of our skill guys, we demand a lot out of them from a downfield perimeter blocking standpoint. And so today I thought, we got some of that work done, but there's a lot of work to do with it, and they're not used to doing it, So we've a lot of today offensively was working on some of that downfield perimeter blocking with the offensive skill guys.
Did you like what you saw in that department?
Oh, I liked the effort. I didn't think the technique was very good for the most part, but I think the effort was. But we got to get. That's a big part. I think one of the reasons we've been able to run the football at times in different places is we had really good running backs, quarterbacks that could run, but we had really good downfield blocking and guys taking a lot of pride in that.
Rich, there's not a wasted moment seemingly during your practice. We've all watched practices before, but how unique is how you conduct your practices compared to others?
Yeah, I think we're a little different. I've been to other practices, not a lot, but I tell our guys we kind of script like a hour and 45-minute practice, and it's up to them whether it's an hour and 45 or 2 hours and 15 minutes, or if we finish the period, do all the stuff done, and we'll blow the horn and move on. So we can have shorter than an hour and 45. But I just get, I think, not just you guys probably the same way, players get bored standing around. I mean, there's so much standing around in our sport anyway, isn't there? Like, I always said it, who wants to watch a bunch of fat guys holding hands in a huddle? You know what I mean? Is that entertaining, So we'll huddle up once in a while, and that's like a trick play for us. And I'll let the fat guys hold hands in a huddle. I think they got like, this is kind of like neat, but it needs, as many coaches as we have, as best managers. I mean, when we go out there and practice, there's like 70-some people out there, managers, trainers, coaches, and you should be organized and be able to go from drill to drill and concept to concept, station to station, and we meet more than Congress, so we ought to be able to have it pretty efficient. So today was okay. I still think each day I think we'll get a little bit more efficient with our process.
How was the execution today? Assignments, execution?
I'm all for it.
Right? All for it, yeah. And John McKay.
Yeah. Again, I need to watch the film. We put a lot on our quarterbacks. I mean, there's lack of a better word, there's not really a mental break for a quarterback on any play. Like usually you think, there's a running play, he just hands it off. And our quarterbacks are almost, there's so many decisions to make, and they're so involved in every play is that guy, there's a lot on there. So, but our guys can handle it mentally, but that's usually the toughest part or the toughest position because there's so much in our offense that the quarterbacks are involved in. I think, technique-wise, we caught the ball a little better today. I still think we're running. We got to run. Our running backs are still learning a little bit about, where the crease is or the potential areas are going to be when they run the ball. But the efforts was pretty good. That's the part that we've stressed. Obviously, we grade loafs and softs every day. We grade everything, but as far as the things that we really get on about is the effort part and being physical.
Obviously, an underrated part of any team, really, certainly your offense is the offensive line and how they perform. Where's the offensive line right now for you?
It's all new, right? There's no returning starters, and a couple of them were backups, but not many of them. So all these guys are really playing for the first time in it. Yeah, but it's a very conscientious group. I got 3 really good O-line coaches working with them. I think they mentally, as far as assignment-wise, and we're not that complicated at all, but what I saw, at least the last 3 days, they've been pretty sharp mentally. I didn't think today we got as much push maybe up on the line of scrimmage, and our Coach Aldi he's got 46 blitzes and 18 coverages and 45 fronts put in already, I think. So it's like, okay, Zach, we're doing a lot, and I hate to limit it because they do such a good job teaching it. But there's a whole lot more that our guys have saw up front today in the third day of practice than you would normally expect. So I reserve judgment till we see it a few more times.
Conditioning-wise and all that, offensive line-wise, where are they?
Today was hard to judge that because it was like 68 degrees, no sun. I didn't think the last couple of days were hot, but today was like a vacation. It was like, so and we're purposefully, we're not going like longer drives. We're doing more back-to-back and shorter drives. So it's really hadn't tested their conditioning too much. We'll try Saturday's practice, do a little bit more. And usually what I tell the team is that if we have too many loafs in practice, then I'll get the conditioning after practice. We'll run or whatever. If we don't have a lot of loafs, then I'm going to make an assumption we're in pretty good shape, and then when the last period's over, we're done. So that's a part of it that hopefully they go hard during the practice. But we got the GPS thing in, and we know how many miles they're going and how fast they're going, all that kind of science. So that's pretty neat.
Turnovers are a double-edged sword. Obviously, offense is bad, defense is good. How do you view that during practices?
Well, I think that's one thing. I don't know if we did a good job today with it. There was a couple of times where I saw a guy thud, and then the next guy came to knock the ball out, punch the ball. You see a lot of that in the NFL. They work on it really hard, and we will too, of punching the ball out and creating a turnover. And I think we probably got to do a better job of trying that. Definitely when we go full pads, that'll be a point of emphasis when we tackle. And then offensively, the ball security, I said that's the same thing. I've always said this, that thing that they're carrying is not a football, that's the program. They're carrying the program. And so would you leave the program in somebody else's hands or laying around? So we got to, I don't think it was bad today, but that's always a point of emphasis.
The first 3 days, is there a position group that is really standing out to you? Is it still too early to tell?
No, not really. And I probably don't look. I look at it in totality anyway. I don't geez, the running backs are good today. Because usually if the running backs look good, it's because we did a good job up front. And if the wideouts look good, it means the quarterbacks probably threw the ball accurately, If the safeties look good, whatever, it probably means that our quarterbacks were bad. So I don't have like one or the other. But when we it's unique because there's so many new guys, obviously, and it's a whole new system. So 3 practices in, I guess I was hoping maybe 3 or 4 practices in we could kind of get a better idea, like where the depth chart's shaping up. But maybe it's a good thing that I haven't, because there's so many more guys that are like, there's not like a lot of guys like separating themselves, good or bad, in certain positions yet. And I think maybe that's a good thing. I think, again, my goal is to play the most people in it. Whatever the record is for playing number of players, I want to break that record. But they got to be good enough to win with, for us to play them. And so there's some really good, healthy competition.
We got to see some field goals and some punts today. How are those 2 units?
Yeah, I think we got a punt team in, special teams, and Ollie punted pretty well today. Our kickers have seemed to be pretty accurate. We've got some good competition going on there. I'm excited about our special teams. I think because, where we're at with our roster and got so many new guys, I mean, everybody wants to compete to play, and they know the special teams is a way for them to get on the field. So, but we just got started with that. It's and we did not do much of it in the spring. We did field goal, we did punt, but we didn't do the rest of them. So we're obviously doing it every day. We're meeting it and walking through it every night. I like our special teams staff, so we'll be okay there.
On the other end of special teams, how's the returner competition, returner thought process?
Yeah, I'm trying to think who was out there. Preston Fox, Rodney Gallagher, Man Singleton, Bowie. I think those may be the 4 guys that are returning punts. They all seem to be catching the ball pretty good. But we haven't really stressed them too much yet. And I'll probably start, when we get in the full pads, we'll do at least 3 special teams units every day.
You mentioned the decisions quarterbacks have to make. Take us through a play from the time you get a typical play. What kind of decisions?
Yeah, so you could say just like it's a normal formation. You could have a run play called, and it could be a handoff. The quarterback could keep it, or he could throw it. And some people call that an RPO kind of a deal, but some of it is RPO in nature, and some of it is like every play is an RPO. Like, you're not, the O-linemen aren't, they're running the run play, and the receivers are running the pass play, and the quarterback is making a decision on which one's going to do with that. And so he really has to see the field. That's the first thing the quarterback has to do is, there's 11 guys over there, and I tell him it takes less than a second to scan the field. Miss Rita teases me all the time because people say, "What's your greatest asset?" And I think one time I said, "Well, I got fast eyes. I can see what they're doing over there real quick, and recognize the coverage. Like right now, I see that right now. I see what the cover, and your quarterbacks, you want them to have that ability to have fast, clear vision before the snap, or as quick as they can, and then after the snap. And a lot of systems are quarterback decision kind of oriented. Ours is that tenfold. A little bit. And sometimes they're not going to be 100% on that. And so some guys can outrun a bad decision, or something like that. But there's a lot on their plate. The good thing, I think, they got, I'm coaching them, Rhett's coaching them, Pat White's coaching them. I mean, we got a bunch of guys in there. Travis is helping. They're getting a lot of tutoring help, but I'm excited about that group. I really am, about this year, next year, and everything we got in the future. I think and you have this is a team sport. Everybody will tell you, I've said this is the greatest team sport there is, but you have no chance to have success if that guy's not pretty good.
With all those decisions, with all those options they have, they don't have to change plays, do they?
We hope not. That's good. That's right, Bob. That's part of the process that we don't want to have to they check, then we check, and then next thing you know, you lose your tempo and all that kind of stuff. So we try to build as much into it so our tempo does not have to slow down.
Some of that scanning the field, those decision-making things you're talking about, is Is that what you're looking at specifically in the drill early in practice, where the quarterbacks aren't throwing the football, but they're kind of going through the play?
Yeah, there's a little bit. I mean, there's run decisions, there's pass decisions, and there's some that involve both. And the more, it's like everything else, right? You're going to get good at what you work at, you know. And here's where it's a little, I don't know if we're different, but when you're doing that, like that one drill when we're doing with the quarterback read zone stuff, if you don't do it at game speed or full speed, then how do you really know that they're going to be able to make that decision at game speed? You know what I mean? So you have to, this is where I'm lecturing now, but that's where your coaches at every position's got to do that. In practice, we have to do things as close to game speed as possible so we know they got it. You know what I mean? And I watch, and it shouldn't bother me, but I watch somebody else kind of do that drill, and they're kind of half speed going through the motion. I'm like, that ain't realistic, because that ain't the way it happens in the game. We try to simulate the game type of speed as much as we can in practice.
Rich, today's the first day you can talk to recruiters about NIL and compensation and negotiations and all that stuff.
What?
Yeah, it sounds so weird, right?
First day.
August 1st. Yeah, right. All right. So whenever that starts, but it's like it's kind of a
news flash, ding, 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 ding. We've been telling them about, these dudes have been. Oh, I hope we didn't break a rule. They've been talking about what they're getting paid for like 11 months now.
You can go to the table with stuff now. They don't have to come to you, but you can sit down
You talking
and
about
say,
sitting in writing?
yeah, you can like offers and all that stuff, like with
Yeah,
compensation.
that's an official offer.
Right, but with NIL, like you can actually, I mean, I'm guessing you've already gotten into this, and it's still fairly new, I would think. I mean, I can't imagine this 10 years ago, but it's part
Yeah,
of
I
the
know
day now.
maybe you guys, I just saw something today, like there was you got the NIL commission night, the commission, and they're going to have AI check to make sure it's legitimate and all that, but there was some kind of ruling or something, was that yesterday or today, that they're not going to be as strict on the NIL that maybe we originally thought it was, right? And I'm trying to maybe y'all could educate me. I was like, I thought this was going to be like the collectives were going away, but now they're not going away, and some of the things that they were going to say were going to be turned down from the NIL commission are now not going to be turned down. So are we going to be in the same, you know what I mean? I'm a little concerned that we're not going to, the structure that was supposed to equalize and make things fair maybe is not quite in place like we thought. But again, that's a separate topic from your question.
How do you broach this with them? Because I'm sure they come to the table with their ideas. You have a structure of what player makes or recruit makes, and what's possible.
We probably talked, but we actually had it last year, even at Jack State, when you don't have a full thing. We kind of have like an NFL salary cap would have, and what's projected for QB1, left tackle 2. And and the hard part about that for us or anybody that's new in a staff is like you really don't know. I mean, what do you pay this guy and that guy, because you really haven't played a game with them. And so, but you have to project that as best as you can, and then you have to have the ability to restructure the salary cap or their salaries as the season goes along or after the season goes. So this will be the toughest year for that, again, because everybody's projected. But we do have an idea of, obviously, and our players know that, gosh, you don't want to play your fourth team nose guard more than your starting quarterback, so to speak. So you have to have a salary cap structure that rewards the guys that earn success.